Hello and welcome. May or may not seem like a lot has changed since the last video. It's only been about 5 days, maybe 6. I honestly can't remember. But what we're looking now is, in terms of structure, support and design, I think we're done with the Eastern Bridge section. I'll go through some of the changes in more detail, but just imagine we've got a drone flying around the railway tracks at the moment. So it's not quite done. As you can see, that there's a couple of areas where I don't quite have the coloured brick that I intend to use. But it's pretty much there from that point of view. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but in the last video, but I had to move this over, the tram track over by one, in order for it to align perfectly with the curve to the front of the station, where I think it's going to be a terminus tram stop outside the station. I also beefed up the supports for behind the retaining wall so that they would support the entire length of the sections. Since the last video I actually had this up at the same level here, but I've taken it down now because that's going to be dead space, and here's dead space. So we have what I'd like to think of is my final version of the existing railway bridges, and obviously the grey colour. They're reasonably well supported. Not a great deal of difference. I just wanted grey instead of black, and I had lots of these that I was getting for box fitters from the Lego shop, and a few of these from the sets that I bought last year. The various railway sets, actually 2 years ago now. Oh, 13 months ago. So these are final, other than replacing some parts which I haven't ordered on Bricklink. I've done a number of Bricklink orders in the last week. I'm still expecting the first one to come tomorrow. But there we go. So the idea behind the retaining wall is that we needed to support everything, not just the bridges. Otherwise you end up building more things afterwards. So like I said, this is going to be sort of dead space. I'll think of something. I've still got to build the arch. Again, it's all modular. The golden rule has persisted of everything being able to fit on a 48 square tile, except for the front of the station, because the curve, this plate that's going to be here and the next plate along there are going to be attached, but they are really not going to have much to them. Just the front of the station. As I said, the middle of the station will be on the tiles here. There, hopefully the golden rule will still be valid, and the top will be removable. So we have got 2 bridges. Originally, I think at the last video there was only one. I've also rejigged things a little bit, so I brought the bridges over here so that it will fit better. So the station will be its own set of base plates, and so will the front of the station. So these 4 will be the bridges, the play set. This is where there may be an existing bridge, or it will just be the building site. If it is the building site, it will be finished. So there we go. So that I did in the week because I went to the Lego shop. Essentially, we're covering more area Now I did have to buy more blocks, but by doing it the way I'm got it now and not the way I had it before, it actually takes fewer bricks to support a larger area, but the area is so large that I needed more bricks, but I would probably have needed the bricks to support it anyway, and then they not being modular, these would have been independent from here and independent from here, so you wouldn't have got that strength as well. So that's better. Today I raised the road and the cycle lane. It's probably a bit wider than it should be, but you know, there's a bit that's been cordoned off. The canal, I have got pieces coming for that. And as I mentioned, that's slightly narrower. No changes here other than it's been widened, and I've also built up another level off these blocks now for the canal wall, and eventually the road will be here, and then we'll see what happens. That'll come under decoration. Still got to build the retaining wall frontage, which it looks like is going to be based on the actual road area. But as this is too wide, that's not a great loss. Graffiti walls probably be on that one. This one will be plain brick or something, or a little bit of everything. You'll see that there's bricks along the underside of the bridge, that's kind of supporting. There will be the decorative bricks. I've got a load coming in dark grey. They will sit here. So whilst these are the final version of the bridge, they're not quite finished yet because I'm awaiting parts, and these ones here haven't been ordered. I was running the freight train up and down it with my daughter last week. It's structurally solid. It's all good. Here we've got the vintage 1982, I think, Lego train, which was actually the first Lego set that my mother and father actually ever bought me. So there we go. I'm also thinking that at some point when this is finished, I might buy the Orient Express model and just leave that parked in the station, because not all of these are going to be live. Some of these are just going to be for show. So you have to use your imagination. This is my real engine car. And this is the dummy that I bought from eBay some time ago to make it look like I had a full train. So got to forgive me, I've got onset of a cold coming. So look at this in more detail. It's a fairly standard fare. 8x4s, no, 8x6s and 6x4s, sort of layered. The magic happens on the back. The two long bars of supporting bricks and some flat pieces at the bottom. I have lots of photographs of it in various stages, actually. Put that here on the DVDs. And even happy accidents due to the number of pieces that I need. It's actually identical when it comes to the black 6x8s. The positioning of them and the number of them. So I could conceivably keep it as it is. Problem at the moment is that these here, this is going to be fun. These are not secured at the bottom yet because I want to do that once the decorative bricks are in, and I'll put a double on at the bottom. So final design. As you can see, I may or may not colour match them. Grey is better than black. You can't really see them, but I'm thinking that you're striving, not necessarily striving for perfection, but if you're trying to get as close as possible, then you do so. Quite happy with how things have turned out. So as the Lego pieces will arrive, I will start decorating various things. If they don't, I will start working on the wall here. Let me just take that out. Gotta find somewhere for it. It can go there, I suppose. It's stable enough. That can go there. Still got a little bit of tidying up to do. But that allows us to see the retaining wall. And as I said, this is still working with the golden rule. Except obviously these two are, oh, this is hard with one hand, still governed by the golden rule. Modularity is preserved so far. One thing I noticed that since doing these, the boards are a lot less flexible. And they are a lot more solid, so I'm very pleased with how things have turned out. So during the next week I'm probably going to ramp it down a little bit, because what was constantly sorting out and getting new bricks in has always been a bit of tidying up. It's been fairly time consuming. There we are. I am very happy with the way things have turned out, and depending on what Bricklink orders come first, I'll either do some more decoration here and build up the walls with the pieces that I have, and maybe start looking at the graffiti for various Van Gogh stuff. I mentioned the Canal in Milan. Or I'll start planning the structure of the inside of the station. I think the station will be built from the inside out, and doubtless I will need more pieces, and I have spent quite a bit and I've exhausted a lot of my Lego VIP points to get some spares for nothing. So that isn't sustainable. So there'll be a bit more progress, probably something next week, and then there might be a bit of a break until the next payday, or I'm feeling a little flush. I have a lot of the pieces that I need, but I'm also missing some of the pieces that I need, so I've now got to think about what I'm going to do next and what I can do next. And I think that decision will occur once the first Bricklink order comes, which is hopefully tomorrow. These could very well be left untouched for a little while. So I'm very pleased with how things are turning out. When I started this, I didn't expect it to be as good. Hopefully in the Bricklink order, just as an aside and a last comment, plenty of pieces for the Canal, which is going to obviously come a little bit further here. So that'll probably be the first part that actually does get decorated. We will see what comes, if it comes. If nothing comes, I'll probably start thinking of the station. For that, I'll probably need more track. Although the idea is that something like that will be modular, you could use that everywhere as well. See, that moved. Anyway, I don't know quite how I've managed it, but that's 15 minutes. So I hope I haven't put anyone to sleep. Have a good evening, have a good day, and catch you later. Ciao.